Why?
And be frank and candid, or be Bonnie and candid.
Oh, dear.
Or you could be frank.
Well, of course I'm better off. Of course.
Yes. In what way?
Well, I understand what's going on now far more than I did long, long ago when we started this.
Yes. You went through challenges and difficulties, as so many have, and one would think that you would say, no, this is really tough, life gets harder and harder. But you're saying no? You're saying, in other words, yes.
It's not about the stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And, of course, I've lost everything, just like so many people have.
Yeah. Wasn't that fun, though?
Yeah, it was just
Because you're
tons
still
of
here.
fun.
You're alive. You're talking on the microphone. I exist. The stuff is not that important.
It isn't. You feel much lighter with all that stuff.
Yes. Good. I'm glad you're still smiling.
Thank you for
Yes.
asking.
Hey, one more. Deep breath.
Yes. Although the journey has been very difficult at moments,
Yeah.
I would say my awareness is a lot greater now than it was 14 years ago. And for that, I'm thankful.
And why has the journey been difficult? What in particular?
Well, like Bonnie just said, losing everything, body stuff.
Yes.
I mean, the only thing I haven't lost is my dear husband.
Yes. But the funny thing is, you talk about losing everything. I didn't see any of you on street corners begging.
We were close.
Yeah.
Okay.
In your mind.
Yes.
In your mind, actually. And maybe in your perception of how much was in your bank account, but most of you still driving nice cars. Most of you still having the basics in life. So there's a lot of perception going on here. There's a lot of perception caused by fear, caused by wondering how deep, how far the bottom is, and then realizing doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. Yes. Difficult to go through.
Yes.
And what's more difficult than the physical, the financial, is the mental rip down. Even more difficult. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. Yes. But you think you are better off. You say you're better off.
I am. I feel more connected to me than I ever have before.
Good.
My intuition, my knowingness is stronger than it ever has been.
Yes.
And I'm starting to trust it.
Self-worth?
That's been coming up. I'm aware of it.
There is some self-worth
yes,
then.
there still is, yes.
Good.
I can see it.
Good.
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And would you pass the microphone to Mark? For our last comment.
Okay. Well, I can pretty much agree with what she said.
Yeah. Smart move.
Right? you know my marriage, right? It's definitely not what I thought it would have been.
Definitely.
It's definitely not.
Definitely.
It's way different.
How would you teach that? Because you will be teaching. How would you teach that to others? How would you explain? Because imagine yourself now sitting in front of a classroom, a dozen or maybe 20 students sitting around, and you're trying to explain to them. They're all giddy and excited because they just discovered metaphysics and spirituality, and they're on this high, like they're the first ones to ever discovered it. And they're so excited, and they're saying, "I'll do anything, whatever it takes. I'm gonna do." And they're bubbly, and they've got angel things hanging in their car window, and they pull out their crystals to show you.
And I just
sitting
shake my
there
head.
like Captain Kirk, like, oh no. How are you gonna tell them it's not what you think, without shattering their hopes and illusion?
Be careful what you ask for.
Or you can
And-
say, you do get what you ask for, by the way.
You do, but you have no idea what you're asking for. So,
That's a good point.
and it just doesn't look anything like what you think it will be.
And so they say to you, Master Mark, well, so what is it? Give us the answers. You studied this, you studied under the great Adamus. One of the few who had ever had that unique opportunity. Boy, do we wish we had been there when he was around. Now you're going to say, what did Master Adamus say? Well, simplify it. What was his message?
I don't have a clue what he said.
That is a brilliant answer, by the way. It doesn't matter what he said.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the journey is individual, so there's no recipe for, what it's going to look like.
Yeah, but they say, give us a few clues. What did you do? I mean, look at you now. Look at the cars. Look at your wife. I mean, it's great. Look at everything you have. How did? And you have this aura about you, and you smell like chocolate chip cookies. And you're alive. And you're alive. Tell us, how did you do it?
I don't know.
And then you laugh and say, "I'm just kidding."
That's right.
Yeah.
No, how I truly did it, it was a breath at a time.
A
Truly.
breath at a time. I like that answer. That should go down in the wisdom book. Absolutely, breath at a time. And one more thing. What else would you tell them? They're gathered in your. I'm getting this. Cauldre says your coffee shop, your enlightened cafe. They're gathered around after hours. You're charging $20, $30 for a cup of coffee because you can.
At least,
because
yeah.
you can. Yeah. So, and you say to them, after one breath at a time, and they say, "I'm so tired of breathing. I can't stand it anymore. I breathe and breathe and breathe, and nothing happens. Look at me. I'm still." Tell me. I see it all the time, as does Andra. I mean, I'm tired, sick and tired of breathing. What else?
Allow.
How do you do that?
You just do it. Allow. You just let go.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Hey, there we are again.
And buy another cup of my magic coffee.
That's right.
Yes, it is blessed. Yes, Adamus blessed the coffee beans before he left. It worked. We'd make millions.
Good marketing. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So, dear Shambra, are you better off? It's a stupid question. It doesn't really matter. And there's no way you can really compare it. You can try. And I do like the answers. We're getting so much better, Shambra. It doesn't really matter. And compared on what level? Well, on a human level, many of you would say probably not. You may own less. You may have, you don't have a job anymore, a relationship, regular sex, good food, or anything else may not. But, I know you did not come here aspiring for those things. As a matter of fact, the real answer is, Edith, almost rejecting those things, almost pushing them away. And look what happened. They went away. I know you came here for this embodied enlightenment, ascension, whatever you want to call it. And in a way, sorry. Sandra, would you get her some coffee? A foot massage and 2 electrical wires. You came here for embodied enlightenment in what I would call, depending how you looked at it, either an act of desperation, saying, if this doesn't work, well, if this doesn't work, yes, I'm out of here. If it's not this lifetime, there is nothing. There is nothing. So it's all or nothing. You put all of the chips on the table. Everything. Double or nothing. Saying this is it. And a bit crazy, but that's the way you are. Now, the real truth is you already know. You already know. But now you're going for the experience of it. You do know the answers. Now it's the experience. You came into this lifetime saying, this has to be it. And like I said, it can be considered a bit desperate or very bold and courageous, very amazing, breaking out of so many things, the mind, the past, mass consciousness, and still enduring, still sitting here, still existing. Amazing. Let's take a good deep breath with that in our Discovery series. From my perspective and the others of the Crimson Council, it's not so much a matter, are you better off? It's a matter of what's happened with your consciousness, which we can see as your light, which we can see as the expanded nature of your being, as we can see by literally the journeys that you take in your dream state. Are you different than you were 14 years ago? Immensely, immensely. I would like to do a dream walk, if you would write this in for yourself in your brain. We'll do a dream walk, and we'll do it together, or we'll may do it live or recording. I have to check with Linda and Jeffrey. But a dream walk into 14 years ago. We'll try to go back, and you're going to see what it's like to try to go back. And I think you'll see through this dream walk that it's not what you thought it was, and it would be like trying to stuff yourself back in your mother's womb. It's just difficult to do. It's just difficult to go back. And while the mind remembers certain lovely things about the past as well as certain terrible things, the fact is, if you try to bring your consciousness back there, you really can't do it. So we'll give it a try with a dream walk.